You know, the one thing I can say in Rise of Skywalker, which I despise that movie, but in this trilogy, in this movie, the best part about it is Adam Driver, of course. So let's knock him down. Let's do it. If you like talking sci-fi and fantasy, please subscribe. Don't make me beg. Welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott. Yeah, sub, share, like if you like it. If not, that's fine too. But I wanted to talk about this Hollywood Reporter's article that I found. It's called Star Wars and the Fate of the Toxic Men. Now, I haven't read it yet. I just kind of breezed through it. So if I stumble a little bit, I apologize. But, the gist of it is Kylo Ren's redemption deserved? I agree and disagree with some of the premises in this article that I saw. Yes, yes, he is a terrible person. Yes, their Reylo thing should never have happened. So I agree with that. I agree that he was abusive. I agree with all that. But they're talking about story arc too. And how can you have a story arc in a movie that jammed two, almost three movies into one? Because of what Rian Johnson did with The Last Jedi, JJ felt the need to reboot it back to really episode 7. I don't even think he really followed any of his own things in episode 7. Maybe just Rey's bloodline. But he had to jam two movies into one. So that's why it's discombobulated. We do not have time for an arc. Kylo Ren, turns to the dark side, supposedly full force in Force Awakens after killing his father. And then in the next one, it's just him and her arguing about, coming, should we kill the past, and move forward and be on together in the dark, or should you, try to have him come back to the light, which he never, ever gives a hint of. He's always in that movie trying to get his own way done. He's not following her. She believes it because she's being naive, but he is not, never once said he was going to do anything good. He just wanted to destroy his master and take over. So now you got JJ. JJ in Rise of Skywalker has to shrink these movies together because he hated what Rian Johnson said. I'm saying that as a rumor, speculative, whatever you want to say. I believe it. We're going to see what they have to say. Let's jump into it. So, Star Wars, Fate of the Toxic Male. I believe this article is by Rosie Knight. And this is Kylo Ren's arc in The Rise of Skywalker earned? Question mark. In many ways, the Star Wars sequel trilogy is the story of Ben Solo, Adam Driver. The character was first introduced as a primary antagonist to Rey, Daisy Ridley, and Finn, John Boyega, but was soon revealed to be the son of Leia Organa, Carrie Fisher, God rest her soul, and Han Solo, Harrison Ford, that cranky old bastard. That conflict of his lineage and his choice to turn to the dark side would become key to the journey that Ben took over the 3 films. It also shapes the story of everyone else that he interacts with, whether it is to be his mother, father, or characters like Rey, Finn, and Poe, Oscar Isaac. Okay, I'm following him a little bit right here. In The Rise of Skywalker, Ben's fate becomes even more central as the redemption that many fans hoped or feared came to fruition. He sacrificed himself to revive Rey, because she's the best ever, from the dead. But the moment ignored Ben's past mistakes and raised questions about whether his redemption was truly earned. Now, I can agree with that question or that idea. Um, is did he do enough to redeem himself? All Darth Vader did was kill the Emperor for his son, and he came back to being Anakin Skywalker. Did he do enough? Because his genocide and his destruction of the Jedi and other nations, bending them to the will of the Empire, just killing the Emperor, bringing him over. I mean, the question you're asking would then question what happened in Return of the Jedi. Anakin Skywalker made the ultimate sacrifice by coming back to save his son and kill the Emperor and bring balance to the Force for a moment until we meet Rey. So, do I agree with what they're trying to say? No. I mean, he gave up his life to bring her back. Is that redemption enough? I would think so. But let's see what else they have to say. In The Force Awakens, Kylo Ren chained Rey down and invaded her mind. That sounds, I mean, it sounds horrible, but it's true. Using the Force or Force. He utilized the newly built Star Killer base and ordered the genocide of lives or 5 separate planets, excuse me, apparently killing billions of people. In The Last Jedi, wait a minute, but was that really his call? I mean, the Emperor wanted that done. Hux was involved. I mean, yeah, he was part of that, but it wasn't his call to destroy those planets. So I don't agree with that one thing. In The Last Jedi, which built on the connection between Rey and Kylo, he took charge of the totalitarian regime. I can't say that word, and was responsible for killing off the remainder of the fledgling resistance. I probably should have read through this first. In Rise of Skywalker, his redemption came at the cost of his mother's life. Well, that was her idea. Given Ben's vital role in the trilogy, he could have had a slow and thoughtful arc in the final chapter. How would that even been possible? The final movie was 2 movies squished into one. These were standalone movies that did not want to take what the movie prior to it did, Rian Johnson and then JJ, and add to it. What they did is destroyed them, killed the past to move forward with their vision. So how could they fit in that arc? I don't know. He could have had a slow and thoughtful arc in the final chapter, but that was not to be. Hollywood has a tradition of offering up redemption for abusive and damaged men. And the trope of a terrible man suddenly becoming heroic has been a literally mainstay for close to 2 centuries, with one of the most famous trailblazers being Ebenezer Scrooge in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I mean, a story about a man learning his mistakes from his past, his present, and what his future may bring. To me, that is a true redemption. There, though, the audience gets to see Scrooge learn from the lone knight's surreal spiritual experience. Ben's redemption not only didn't offer up any concrete reasoning for why he changed his ways, which is true, aside from being moved by Rey's decision to heal him, but it also killed him off before, and he had the chance to truly do any wider good or be held accountable for his past. Once again, if you question this, you're questioning Anakin Skywalker's redemption. Okay, because that was even shorter. Ben Solo came back. So Kylo Ren hears his mother, and it makes him stop for a second. Throughout these movies, he has moments of pausing for his mother's presence. I mean, he didn't pull the trigger on the ship where she became Mary Poppins, but he was there when they destroyed it, but he held back from that. His mother has always had the connection. It's not Rey's decision to heal him. Yes, that made it maybe added into it, but it's because of his mother. It's because of that bond they had. And then his father in that vision telling him, he would be there to help him make the decision. So I believe his redemption was earned. I don't know. Does he have to go up on charges? Does he have to do, the same amount of years to prove that he was good? I don't understand why we're going with this, but people need to write articles and guys got to make a video. Perhaps it should have. What about a war crimes trial supported by his loving partner Rey, or exile in the desert of Tatooine like Ben Kenobi before him? These would have been risks, but one's worth discussing. That's ridiculous. Ben's redemption is tied directly to the death of Rey and the pair's romantic connection. First of all, romantic connection was the dumbest thing they could have done. It should have been some type of forced friendship, some type of almost brother-sister, which I believe that's what they were planning on doing from the first episode 7. And then Rian Johnson threw that out the window, but whatever. Heroes and villains falling in love is hardly a new idea. But the reason it sticks out in Rise of Skywalker is that much of Kylo Ren's early behavior towards Rey is tantamount to abuse. True. Whether it was his imprisonment of her on the ship, or the fact that he apparently created a story about her parents simply to make her join him, it's hardly no, that's not true, because he didn't know the truth. He sensed that was the truth. So I don't believe he made that up. I think that's, again, storyline's not adding up. It's hardly the basis for a healthy relationship, of course, but yet there's millions of girls, women out there and men that cheered when they kissed. And that to me is something we have to say about society. So what does it tell audiences when it's his love is the one thing that can save Rey? Was it his love or just this fact that they put a new force healing into the canon without thinking about what that would have happened, but not thinking about how Jedi could have easily been paired up 2 by 2. And anytime one of them got hurt or mortally wounded, the other one healed them, because she's not the first. We also have, spoilers for Mandalorian, baby Yoda or the Yodeling or the child, whatever the hell you want to call them, healing people in that series. Yet Ben Kenobi couldn't have healed his master after Maul stabbed him. There have been other deaths. Why couldn't they have saved these people? I'm just saying that force healing, if it is now canon, which it is, takes away from all the things that happened before. I mean, Luke Skywalker was one of the most powerful Jedis before Rey. He couldn't heal Anakin? I don't know. Let's see what else they have to say. Star Wars has always been a story defined by cycles and archetypes, which is why it's hardly surprising that Ben's last-minute turn and quick demise echoes another famed arc from the original trilogy. Oh, here we go. Ben's story has long been shaped by that of his grandfather, Darth Vader, who helped his son Luke during the final battle in Return of the Jedi, only to die moments after. It was a powerful scene that surprised fans and left a bittersweet taste in the mouths of those who had spent 3 films roaring for the defeat of the masked villain. How Ben's fate differs, though, is that from the outset he was shown as conflicted. He never had the truly vehement beliefs of his grandfather despite his horrific actions. That's likely why, for many fans, Ben's death and positioning as a hero rather than villainous man who made one good choice, like his grandfather, feels muddled at best and harmful at worst. I think actually it would make more sense for his redemption, because he has been fighting the dark side and the light for the entirety of this trilogy. I mean, what you're saying is Darth Vader's, 20 to 30 years of murder and oppression, genocide, one moment of saving his son and killing the Emperor, he had more of a right? That makes no sense. In the end, Kylo Ren and the boy under the mask ultimately became a tool for further the plot when it could have meant so much more, which I agree. This whole freaking movie could have been so much more. So that's that. Tell me what you think. Was that article, did it make sense to you, or did you agree or disagree with it? Most of the people that watched this were people of the Fandom Menace, people that did not like The Last Jedi, did not like this trilogy in general. So I have a feeling I understand what their view is going to be. But if you are someone who did like this and you're just watching my video, you're welcome to come with us. I enjoy debating people like this. So I would love to know what you thought about his redemption. Was it earned? Because in my view, if Darth Vader's wasn't earned, or is earned, then his has to be earned, Kylo Ren's. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd like to also thank the guys from Midnight's Edge After Dark, Tom and Rob, and also Mecha Random 42 for allowing me to stream with them the other night. Those guys are fantastic. If you found my channel because of them, thank you for subbing me. I really appreciate it. You could also find us on the Fourth Wave. That is usually on the author Stephen Walton, the historian of the Phantom Menace, on his channel, which will be down here somewhere. I think right here I'll put it. And we are usually live Wednesday, Saturday nights. So come check us out. And always remember, if they're calling you names, they've already lost the war. Have a great day, everybody, and Happy New Year.